Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi. We students of Diploma Science Sem 4 Group 5. In this video, we will be presenting our field study about birds diversity in UiTM TAPAH. Before we start presenting, I would like to introduce our team members first, which are Muhammad AIMAN, Muhammad IRFAN, Muhammad NAZMI, AFRINA HAZIRAH, and lastly SHAHIRA NAJIB. And now, the list of contents that we will go through in this video are the introductions, the objectives of our field study, the methodology used, the analysis of the findings or results, the discussion of our data, the conclusion and decision of our field study, and lastly our citations or reference. The introduction is that this video is the showcase of our group's field study about birds diversity in UiTM TAPAH. This video will be showing the objective, the methodology, and also the findings of our field study. The objective of our field study is to identify the birds diversity in UiTM TAPAH, to analyze the birds populations that present in UiTM TAPAH, and also to determine the population size of the birds in UiTM TAPAH.
So now, I will continue in our topic for bird diversity, which is I will explain the method, several method on how to determine the population of birds in UiTM TAPAH and its species. So there are four types of method in my research that I found on internet, which is for the first one, point count, secondly, transect, thirdly, area searches, and lastly, camera capture. So for these four methods, I will explain on the next slide. Now let's go for our first method, which is point count. So point count, what is it and how to do it and when to do it? So point count is a total of all birds detected by sight and sound by a single observer located at a fixed position during a specified period of time. And this method is usually we will do during the breeding season and in the morning when birds are most vocal and territorial. And territorial behavior in zoology is mean by which a bird or a group of birds protect its territory from incursion by others of its species. And counts must be conducted under suitable weather condition, which is for the first one we can look winds must be above or below, below 12 miles per hour and no rains. So now we look at our second method, which is transect survey. How to do it? So transect survey is consists of person walking from a point A to a point B, along defined path, and then the observer counts the number of individual birds each species seen that the observer seen along the path A to B, and head within a certain distance their path for both sides, which is from the left and the right for at observer. So the distance from each point should be as large as possible to maximize information gathering, and keeping the survey distance and length of route the same makes comparing different transect surveys that much easier in the long run. So now we're gonna look for our two last method on my research, which is research and camera trap. So we're gonna look for the third method, which is research, which is this method a quantitative habitat specific survey method that is widely applicable in most habitats, and it is useful for diversity measurement such as species richness, bird community compositions, and relative abundance. So we're going to look at the last one on how to determine a bird for some area, which is camera trap. So this method is big different from other method because this method we're gonna need a lot of money. We need to buy the camera, a modern camera. So the model camera is simply a digital connected to an infrared sensor which can see warm objects that are moving in front of the camera. And camera traps the big advantage it has. It can be left in the field to continuously watch an area of habitat for weeks or even months. So we, as the observer or as a zoology, to observe the bird, we we do any other activity as long as the camera on that area, but to make sure we put the camera on the safe part that will be not animal distract on the camera. So that's all for this formatter on my research.
Now, as for this part of the video presentation, I would like to share with you all the results of our activity of bird watching. Now, first of all, will be the Aptonis penensis, or its common name will be the Asian glossy starling bird. Now, as for characteristics, in terms of size and shape, they are medium-sized starling, approximately 20 to 35 cm in length. For plumage, the adults have striking iridescent greenish-black plumage that shines with a metallic sheen in sunlight, while the juveniles are brownish with streaks. As for the eyes, they have bright red eyes which are prominent feature and contrasting sharply with their dark features. And as for their bills and legs, both bill and legs are black, typical for starlings. For as as for additional information, let's for example for their behavior. Now the second bird would be Geopalia striata, or its common name would be the zebra dove bird. Now, for its characteristic, in terms of size and shape, they are a small dove, approximately 20 to 23 cm in length, with a wingspan of around 24 to 26 cm. It has a slender build. As for plumage, they are light brownish gray with a series of fine black and white bars. In other words, they inhibit zebra-like stripes, kind of like a zebra, across the upper parts, necks, and breast. The belly is a lighter shade, almost white. And as for the head, the face is generally pale with a blue-gray eye ring. And for bill and legs, the bill is bluish-gray while the legs are pinkish. Additional information such as their behavior in terms of diet, they are primarily granivorous. Now, what is granivorous mean? Granivorous is a type of food eating type is feeding mainly on small seed from gases and weeds. They also consume small invertebrates. As for social structures, they generally sit in pairs in small groups. They are ground foragers, often seen walking or running on the ground in search of food. And as for breeding, their nest is in trees, shrubs, or on the ground. They lay 2 eggs per clutch, which are incubated by both parents. The chicks fledge in about 2 weeks. And as for their vocalization, they are known to have soft, pleasant, and cooling sounds. That their song is a series of rapid, short croos and are separated several times. Interestingly, about the zebra dove bird, they are a native to Southeast Asia. This includes Thailand, our home country, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. But they also have been introduced to other regions in the world, such as Hawaii, Australia, and Mauritius. So as for their habitat, commonly, they've been living in 2 types of areas also, which is the first one will be the open woodlands, where they live in open woodlands and forest edges. The second common place is grasslands and shrublands. They live in open grassy areas and the shrublands. The third bird would be Passer montanus, or its common name, Eurasian tree sparrow bird. Now, as for its characteristic in terms of size and shape, they are typically known for the small bird size, about 12.5 to 14 cm in length with a wingspan of 20 to 22 centimeters. It has a stout body and a short, thick bill. For plumage, in adult form, they have a chestnut brown head and neck, with a distinct black patch on each right cheeks. The upper parts are brown with the black streaks and the underparts or underparts. The fourth bird would be Acridopteris javanicus, or the Javan mania bird, or its common name. As for characteristics, as in terms of size and shape, they are medium-sized bird, about 33 to 34 cm in length, For AZIZ plumage, they are predominantly black or dark brown with a slight sheen. The most distinctive feature is the white patch on the wings visible in flight and the white vent under the tail. As for head, they have a black with prominent crest that can be raised or flattened. As for the eyes, they have bright yellow eye rings. And finally, as for bill and the legs, the bill and legs, both of them are yellow colored, providing a striking contrast to their dark features. Additional information such as for their behavior. As for diet, they are omnivorous, again, meaning they are feeding a variety of insect fruits and seeds and human food scraps. As for social structure, they are gregarious and often seen in pairs or small groups. They are social and can be quite bold around humans. They get around quite well with humans. And as for breeding, they build their nests in cavities, including tree holes, crevices in buildings, and even nest box. They lay 3 to 6 eggs per clutch, and which both parents help to incubate it and feed the young. Now, interestingly, about what makes this Javan mina bird so unique is that it is a native to the Java island and Bali in Indonesia, but it has been introduced to other parts of the world, including Singapore, the Malaysian Peninsula, and parts of the Philippines. And finally, for their habitat, commonly live in two places, which the first one would be coastal area, where they live in mangroves and coastal shrublands. The second common place is urban areas, which they live in cities, towns, and villages. The fifth bird would be Spilopila chinensis, or its common name would be the spotted dove bird. Firstly, for characteristics, in terms of size and shape, they are medium-sized dove, about 3 cm in length. For their plumage, as the head and neck, they are grayish-brown with a distinctive black and white checkerboard pattern on the sides of the neck. For upper parts of their body, they have a light brown with darker mottling. And the last bird for our results part would be Nanopteron brasilianum, or its common name would be the neotropic cormorant bird. As for characteristics in terms of size and shape, they are a medium-sized cormorant, about 64 to 74 cm in length, with a wingspan of from 100 to 150 centimeters. As for the plumage, the adults are generally black, often black, with a slight greenish and brown sheen. During the breeding season, they develop white tufts on the side of the head. And as for juveniles, they are brownish with a lighter underbelly. And as for bills and the eyes, the bills is long, slender, and hooked at the tip, with a yellowish base. The eyes are dark. And as for their feet, they have black webbed feet, aiding them in their swimming ability. Additional information for this bird, which is behavior. In terms of diet, they are primarily piscivorous. Piscivorous meaning tendency on feeding on fish. They dive underwater to catch their prey, but also consume amphibians, crustaceans, and insects. They are often forage in groups. As for foraging behavior, they dive from the surface and chase prey underwater using their powerful legs. As for social structure, they are highly social, often seen in flocks. They nest in colonies, sometimes with other water birds. And for breeding, their nests are construction from sticks and placed in tree shrubs or on the ground near water. They lay 3 to 4 eggs per clutch, which are incubated by both parents. For their vocalization, they are generally silent, but they can produce low grunts and croaks, especially at breeding colonies. For their habitat range, this type of bird is found throughout the Americas, from the southern United States through Central America and much of South America, including the Caribbean. In terms of their habitat, they commonly live in two places. The first one will be the freshwater bodies. They are frequently found in rivers, lakes, reservoirs, ponds, and marshes. And the second common place would be mixed habitat. Interestingly, because they are often seen in areas where freshwater and saltwater habitats overlap, such as brackish water estuaries. To wrap everything that we have done about the activity of the bird watching one, here is the result table that showcases the total number of total number of birds of each species in the course of 2 days in 2 weeks of our observation. Noted that there are more than 6 species that we have observed, but due to the limited time for the video presentation, we cannot list out everything. So the reasons on why each species have a different number in the course of this tutor will be discussed in the discussion section.
Hi, my name is NOOR HAZIRAH binti SALEH. My ID number is 2022480046. Let's move on to the discussions. What is ecology? Ecology is the scientific study of the interaction between organisms and their environment. In this field study, we use method sampling. Sampling was done for over 2 days on different weeks at UiTM TAPAH. Many pictures of birds were captured during the process. The best birding is between dawn to about 10 a.m. and between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let's move forward to the next discussion. Birds diversity. First, factors population. It is environmental factors, including foliage height diversity, wetland size, water level fluctuation, forest composition with structure, and distance to water source. All of this can be defined as UiTM TAPAH environment. Second, food sources. At UiTM TAPAH, birds usually eat seeds, fruits, insects, small mammals, fish, buds, larvae, aquatic invertebrates, nuts, aquatic vegetation, grain, dead animals, and garbage. Third is benefit of bird diversity. Many bird species play a critical role in pollinating plants, which is essential for the reproduction of flowering plant and the production of fruits and seeds. Birds consume a variety of insects and small animals, helping to control pest population and reducing the need for chemical pesticides. Birds contribute to nutrient cycling through their droppings, which fertilize the soil and promote plant growth. Birds occupy various levels in food webs, from primary consumers to top predators. This diversity helps maintain the balance of ecosystem and supports a wide range of other species. Here is birds that we captured at UiTM TAPAH. Neotropic cormorant, Asian glossy starling, Javan myna, scaly-breasted munia, African pipit, zebra dove, common myna, crested myna, Eurasian tree sparrow, and spotted dove. The highest population of birds in UiTM TAPAH is Asian glossy starling, Eurasian tree sparrow, and zebra dove for about more than 30 to 40. The second highest population of birds in UiTM TAPAH is crested myna, Javan myna, and common myna for about 15 to 20. The lowest population of birds in UiTM TAPAH is Neotropic cormorant, scaly-breasted munia, African pipit, and spotted dove for about 1 to 5. All of the birds have similar characteristics. They hunt their prey like small vertebrates to eat. They pick up a small twig to build a nest. They use their wings to fly. They need different mating types of fertilization.
This is the conclusion. The study conducted at UiTM TAPAH successfully met its objective by first, identifying bird diversity. A diverse array of bird species was identified at UiTM TAPAH, including the Asian glossy starling, Eurasian tree sparrow, zebra dove, crested myna, Javan myna, common myna, neotropic cormorant, scaly-breasted munia, African pipit, and spotted dove. Second, analyzing bird population. The analysis revealed varying population sizes among the bird species. The highest population were found in species like the Asian glossy starling, Eurasian tree sparrow, and zebra dove, while the lowest population were in species like Neotropic cormorant and scaly-breasted munia. Third is by determining population sizes. The study quantified the population sizes of the observed bird species with the highest population ranging from 30 to 40 individuals, and the lowest population fewer than 5 individuals. Overall, the objectives were achieved by documenting the diversity, analyzing the population distribution, and determining the population sizes of birds in UiTM TAPAH. This information provides a valuable foundation for future ecological research and conservation effort in the region. Third is by determining population sizes. The study quantified the population sizes of the observed bird species with the highest population ranging from 30 to 40 individuals, and the lowest population fewer than 5 individuals. Overall, the objectives were achieved by documenting the diversity, analyzing the population distribution, and determining the population sizes of birds in UiTM TAPAH. This information provides a valuable foundation for future ecological research and conservation effort in the region.